emphasis on the good. I'm Terri.
And I'm Tom. Got some good news? Well, we want to hear it.
Drop by our website, send us an email, or visit our social media page and slide in our DMs. Good news only, please.
What she said. We look forward to hearing some of your good news. But for now, it's time to hear some of ours. 2020, a year greeted with new beginnings and optimism, has quickly turned into a reality check for most Americans, especially us here in Nashville. From ecological disasters like the tornado or coronavirus to traumatizing tragedies like the loss of Chadwick Boseman and Kobe Bryant, 2020 has become a gut check to us all. So to check in on our community, we've got Jomilla the journalist in the streets, in the community, to check on the minds during these unprecedented times.
Unprecedented times is right, Tom. Nashville hasn't seen a tornado this bad since the outbreak of 1998. Like any other time, though, Nashville came together to get our city back in places like East Nashville, North Nashville, and Hermitage. Places hit the hardest. And just when the air was starting to feel normal again, COVID-19 and racial injustice crept in to contaminate and corrupt.
I'm here, out north, one of the hardest hit places from the Nashville tornado earlier this year, to see how recent events are affecting people in the community. I'm here with some tourists from Ohio, correct? And I just want to ask you guys, how are y'all handling everything that's going on? You know, with coronavirus, with the debate that just went on, all this racial tension. How are you guys handling it all?
I think that I am holding up. However, everything that's been going on has exposed me that we as black women are just so unprotected right now, and it's just a scary time.
People staying in the houses. I mean, every morning I just go come to work to set up my guys. You be traffic come across the Clarksville Bridge. Traffic, back to back. You don't see that no more.
I do agree. I'm doing everything that I can to protect my mental and protect my peace because that's what's important to me.
It affects a lot of people. I mean, in the money flowing. So you got these buildings out here, which I got my own building right there. Then you got a building and you own a lease. You still got to pay for that. Credit cards, all these still got to pay for it, and you got no money. So coronavirus, it affects a lot of stuff.
One thing for me specifically is just taking that break from social media that we need, because I think a lot of times when you're looking into the social media and what things are saying, like that really affects you as a person. So just like limiting what I'm seeing from everything really helps with my mental health as well.
That's a good point, because a lot of times what we see on social media is not the truth. And that's what we're trying to do at Color TV, is give the real news, the good news and the bad, but also emphasis on the real, because a lot of news out there is not real. It's fake, but it affects real people's lives. So thank you guys for, answering the questions, and I hope you guys continue to protect your energy, and I wish you guys luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for that amazing report, Jomilla the magenta journalist.
That's corny as hell, Tom.
What? I like the jacket. Come on.
Anyway, after hearing all of that, what do you think? Check out our IG story, click the link in the bio, and vote to participate.
With scientists seemingly unable to come to consensus on coronavirus, amidst a wave of unprecedented institutional and authoritative failure, this phantom menace is now claiming the lives of some of our most precious American figures. We are sad to announce that the Marlboro Man has recently passed. He died 2 packs after contracting the virus, and in his final statement, he apologized for, and I quote, selling menthol to blacks.
Bruh.
John Deere also joins the victim list, contracting the virus after attending a Trump rally. As an avid Trump supporter, his estate is auctioning off his ashes, and all proceeds will go towards the 4 Mower Years Foundation. If you'd like to donate, go yourself. Of course, we do have some good news. In critical condition tonight, the Kool-Aid Man is living in a living on a respirator, and although he is from a marginalized community, seems to be doing just fine. When asked if he will have a full recovery, he simply replied, Oh, yeah. Aww. Now that's looking at the glass half full, isn't it, Terry?
Yeah, it is, but unfortunately, fictional characters aren't the only victims of this pandemic, Tom. In addition to our loved ones, some of our beloved local businesses and products have also fallen victim to the madness. In the wake of this pandemic, downtown Nashville struggles to keep its hottest attractions and restaurants open. Unfortunately, that heat forced many cooks out of the kitchen. Demas's Italian restaurant is closing their downtown location. Around the time coronavirus struck, they were already in a lease dispute with their landlord. Then, the pressures of the pandemic forced them out. However, it seems what one restaurant's automatic 18% gratuity won't pay for, another one will. A new restaurant by the name of Jane's Hideaway is opening at the end of October. Someone should have thrown gentrification a rent party. After 20 plus years of serving Nashville's hipster college crowd, Cafe Coco is pivoting their business approach from Midtown's late night hangout to an Italian market with a focus on takeout, delivery, and catering. Owner Chuck Cinelli says, with the changing landscape of Nashville, it's time to, as they say in Italy, bring Cafe Coco into the family. And by the family, he means other restaurants he operates, such as Coco's Italian Market. Sorry. I thought they were closing. But you said they... Okay, well, in breaking news, I guess Cafe Coco decided they wanted to open back up or whatever. So you guys can continue to get your kicks on Route 66 if you want to. Moving on. Last but certainly not least, Germantown's beloved Black-owned Garden Brunch Cafe is closed for good, as many businesses revive themselves only to be promptly shut back down during the top of the summer in our Phase 2 rollback of our coronavirus openings. Garden Cafe decided to cut their losses, and they simply stayed closed. They left a heartfelt message on their Facebook page stating, "We want to thank everyone who has supported the Garden Brunch Cafe throughout our 11-year run. We are Nashville strong, so even though we are closing permanently, we are so blessed to have been a part of this city." Well, it looks like bitches that brunch are going to be bummed about their Broadway bennies and banana Foster pancakes. On the bright side, no more long lines, gravel parking lots, or the ghastly gaze of tourists who've wandered too far down Jefferson Street.
Sorry to interrupt, Terry, but we've got breaking news. TikTok has just been shot.
Who shot TT?
Allegedly, President Trump has shot TT as a matter of national security.
They're tripping. Okay, see, TT was just a dancer. They be on that bullshit, man, I swear.
Well, the suspicion is that TT was actually a dirty dancer for the CCP.
Stop throwing up on them gang signs. You're going to get us cut off the air. And how much more dirty could they really be? More than the United States?
Excellent point, Terry. I guess we'll have more on this one. I guess right now, Oracle and Walmart have just bought TikTok.
That's it. I quit the internet.
What? It's different. But Terry, they only got 20%. But it's 100% dirty. More with the good news. Can we get back to the good news now? This is crazy. All right. We'll do it live. I got it right here. We can do it. Sorry about that. Yes. To ensure that more of our local businesses don't meet the same fate, we here at The Good News are putting a spotlight on them in our new segment, What's Really Good. Today we catch up to a fun, quirky, innovative new establishment, Coneheads, out in North Nashville. Let's throw it over to Jomilla the journalist to tell us more about their delicious food with a side of trap music to set the mood.
Hi, I'm Jomilla the journalist with The Good News, outside of Coneheads in East Nashville, a recently established Black-owned restaurant that is literally bringing something new to the table. Come on, let's go check it out.
We got our start via our catering company that we started about 4 years ago. Just growing up, I got comfortable in the kitchen and cooking with my mother. My mother owns a restaurant out in Madison called Cal's Country Kitchen, and that's kind of where I got comfortable in the kitchen and learned how to cook. For about the past 8 years, I have been in her kitchen full time, managing and cooking and learning from her. And like I said, about 4 years ago, we started a catering company, and everybody was requesting brunch type foods and wanting chicken and waffles and things. So my wife and I were just looking for a different way to present it, and that's how the chicken and waffle cones came about. Things have been, all things considered, things have been pretty good. I'd say we've had to scale things back right there at the beginning of quarantine and around the tornado and everything. And but with the support of the neighborhood and the city, and a lot of people came through this summer, and we had a pretty good summer. Like I said, all things considered, we've been fortunate. We never had to close down or anything, and we felt that was good for us, considering we were a new business and everything. No, that was part of doing business. Like I said, my mother's been in business 23 years, and she's had several break-ins over the course of time. And like I said, that was just a bump in the road. We cleaned the glass up and opened up on time the same day. Next for Coneheads, man, we're trying to just finish this 2020 off strong this year, and looking forward to 2021 and hoping that things with just the economy and health-wise in the country and world, things get better, and we're looking to expand in 2021. We're wanting a food truck, and we're eyeing a couple different more locations.
Thank you.
No problem.
Now for my favorite part of the segment, taste testing. What do we have here?
So today on the table we have here our cauliflower cone for our vegetarians, and it's been tossed in our 24K sauce, which is like our honey gold. Right here closest to me, we've got our fried shrimp cone. It's been tossed in our triple C sauce and drizzled with our jam sauce, which is our spicy one. And today here, Miss Jomilla will be trying our large chicken cone tossed in our triple C sauce, and those 3 C's stand for chili, cucumber, and cilantro. And she's got our special mac and cheese cap on top of her cone here.
Yes, I love it. It looks so good. And let's get into these tables though, because you've set it down, and I noticed that it went straight through. Like, so, it's made for these cones.
Yeah, so just kind of in our build out process, we were kind of trying to figure out how to make this thing easy for people to eat without having all this kind of hardware and stuff on top of the tables. So we put these holes in the table so that you just could easily just pick your cone up and set it down. You never really have to lay it to the side while you're eating.
That's amazing. Now let's get into this. I want to try it. It's so good. I've never had it with the cap on it. You know,
so
I'm gonna use my hands.
So this is a thing that I'm pretty adamant about. Like, when people come, I advise that you take a big bite out of the cone, because you got to get all the flavor together.
So no fork needed, huh?
No fork needed.
No fork necessary. Here we go. No fork needed, y'all. This is so good. I'm sorry y'all can't taste it, but y'all can come and get some. Back to y'all at the studio.
In recent news, Dr. Fauci has issued a video warning about the persistence of coronavirus in the fall, despite our best efforts. Now, luckily, Terry, I was on hand for this as the sign language correspondent at the conference. I mean, you didn't know I had these talents now, did you? And it keeps going. Here's our interpretation right here.
When you look at an outbreak, it's 2 dynamic forces opposing each other. If you leave the virus to its own devices, it will take off if you do nothing to stop it. If you put into place the kinds of things that we talk about, first containment, and then hopefully you never get to mitigation, but containment is important. Those 2 forces are going to determine whether you're going to have a big outbreak. So what Dr. Redfield was saying, first of all, is that we will have coronavirus in the fall. I am convinced of that because of the degree of transmissibility that it has, the global nature. What happens with that will depend on how we're able to contain it when it occurs. And what we're saying is that in the fall, we will be much, much better prepared to do the kind of containment compared to what happened to us this winter.
Now, he sure said a handful, didn't he, Terry?
Shut up, Tom.
Well, I will in a few seconds as we've reached the end of the first episode of The Good News.
That's right. And after every episode, we like to have an artist come through and do something original about the times. This week, it's Nashville's very own local rapper, Brian Brown, who just released his project, Vanity Pack. Thanks for watching Color TV Presents The Good News, and remember to always keep the emphasis on the good.
What's up, world? It is I, the one and only Brian Brown, Nashville, Tennessee. I used to be exact. Here with Color TV today. They decided to get me, of our people, to talk about this crazy ass world. And funny enough, I had a little moment in the situation the other day that goes perfectly with the scenarios and the times. And it was like a lift pulled up in a matte gray Benz, leather interior, Chips Ahoy, smelling like cookies, trying to come down, the glamorous life. Why not enjoy it? Backseat discussing the world and its traumas. I can't figure out what the fuck they want from us. I ain't signed up for a therapy session, but thankful that somebody heard these transgressions. Now look, I got a confession. It's time to usher in that funky dog. Niggas been working relentlessly, so when it's up, you don't have to call. If you do, I'm thankful for the gesture. It's kind of crazy that I crossed your mind, but even you knew that doing it my way was going to get me somewhere in time. The whole world at a standstill, rubbernecking at this traffic jam. The road by the shit for way too long. At this point, I be goddamn. We got to get up out of cruise control, so buckle up, a long road ahead. Drive slow and never 12 round. I'm screaming fuck 'em every chance I get. 7-2 a nigga back like Brandon Roy, wasn't any need for none of that. Let them tell it all we give a fuck about is ballin', so we should keep hush on that. Y'all got me fucked up. Full court press from jump to the buzzer sounds and confetti on the ground make a place for all of us. The anomaly exists, the rarity that is. Brian Brown here on behalf of Color TV, tuning in live. Respect.
We need some good.